Michael Saylor, one of the leading names in the cryptocurrency market and CEO of MicroStrategy, is generating controversy again. This time, he drew attention by criticizing the practice of self-custody and even made a comment calling Bitcoiners paranoid crypto-anarchists. Hey guys, this is the Bitcoin Moral Aspect channel, and today we're going to talk about Michael Saylor, who seems to be changing sides. In a recent interview, he criticized the practice of self-custody in Bitcoin, saying that having the currency in the hands of paranoid crypto-anarchists who would not accept regulation, taxes, or data reporting would increase the risk of confiscation. Saylor also said,
people say that, but mostly it's paranoid crypto-anarchists that say that, okay? Because it's a myth and a trope that goes on over and over again. But first of all, he didn't really seize the gold. People voluntarily turned in the gold. They didn't go and kick in everybody's door, arrest them, shoot them, and take their gold. That never happened. Is the United States on the Bitcoin standard?
Stated that the U.S. government did not confiscate gold in 1933. According to him, people handed over the gold voluntarily, demonstrating that the same would apply to Bitcoin if it were held in custody in institutions. But this view is questionable. In 1933, the surrender of gold was voluntary only because there were severe penalties for those who did not comply, huge fines, and even prison. To make matters worse, Saylor also accuses self-custody advocates of promoting fear against institutions in order to sell safe wallets. However, it seems he has a vested interest in the matter himself, as he recently reported that MicroStrategy wants to become the world's largest Bitcoin bank. Just as Bitcoin Jesus was dubbed Bitcoin Judas for flipping his position, some believe Saylor is poised to become the biggest house flipper of this cycle. For those who don't know, self-custody is when someone decides to keep their own cryptocurrencies instead of leaving them in brokerages or custodians. The idea is to have full control over your assets. But, on the other hand, this requires security precautions, such as the use of cold wallets and backup of access keys. And where did Michael Saylor come into this story? Recently, he made strong statements against self-custody, stating that it is risky and, in a way, even radical. Saylor said self-custody is a movement driven by what he calls paranoid crypto-anarchists, those who want to be outside the control of big institutions and governments. He believes this stance is overblown and that Bitcoin should be a safe investment, not a symbol of rebellion against the system. He argues that most people feel safer with institutions looking after their assets, much like banks and other traditional brokerages. Saylor suggests that by keeping Bitcoin in the custody of regulated institutions, the average investor is protected from errors and theft and can count on assistance in case of problems. But it is clear that these statements did not please the Bitcoiner community. For many, self-custody is essential to the philosophy of Bitcoin, which is based on decentralization and financial freedom. This group believes that, by outsourcing the control of their assets, investors can be subject to censorship and control. In addition, for the so-called crypto-anarchists, Bitcoin represents an alternative to the traditional financial system without depending on intermediaries. For them, self-custody is almost like a right for those who believe in the decentralization power of cryptocurrencies. Ultimately, the debate between Michael Saylor and hardcore Bitcoiners highlights an interesting divide in the Bitcoin world. While Saylor sees Bitcoin as a safe haven asset that can coexist with the traditional financial system, self-custody enthusiasts see it as an attack on the very purpose of cryptocurrencies. So who do you think is right? Is self-custody an essential strategy for maintaining control over your assets? Or does it make sense to rely on the security of a regulated institution? If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content about cryptocurrencies and the financial market. See you next time.